Hello and welcome back to the I Fought with Juice podcast. I am your host Juice, and I'm here with my co-host Rain. What's happening, Rain?
Nothing much. I'm wondering how this is gonna work with this card. Are we gonna have more changes soon? Everything's in order.
Hey, so say whatever you want. I actually kind of like it when there's a main event and it resembles absolutely nothing about what it originally was.
Right?
So we went from Romero Costa to Romero Jacare to Jacare Costa to Jacare Hermanson.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only fight where the fighter fell out. Because now Mike Perry's on the card.
Was Oliveira supposed to fight someone else?
Yeah. Shit, I forgot who it was.
That's news to me. I thought that was the original fight. Because I remember when I first heard that fight, it was insane. I'm like, damn, I want to watch that.
He's stepping in for somebody else. Shit, I gotta look it up again. But yeah, interesting. And then I guess there are some changes again with how it's going to be shown. It's going to be on ESPN 2 or 1, and then it's going to jump on to like ESPN Plus or I don't know, man.
I think the original card when it was Costa Romero was supposed to be on big ESPN, so I guess the more the star quality went down, the more they're like, fuck it, let's just put it on the service, which I don't know how you can do that. I thought they already had things worked out, but we're going to dive into that in a minute. We're going to do a quick little review of the St. Petersburg card from last week, just cover our picks. So I went 2-1. Both Rain and I got the main event wrong. Rain, unfortunately, I think you got none of them right. But the ones that we covered, the fights that we covered were pretty interesting or pretty good. Tybura got knocked the fuck out. Told you, Shamil's got some power, man, but that was crazy. That was just in your face.
Dude, he was getting fucked up in the first round, so I don't know why he didn't change up his game plan. I mean, he had some kicks there that Shamil caught, but yeah, he didn't really change up his game. He was getting pieced up.
Tybura, I think Tybura's a smart fighter and he has some good combos and things like that, but I don't think he's a very natural fighter. You know what I mean? I don't think he's good at it. He's not like a Max Holloway type who just rolls with everything and just flows.
Well, it definitely didn't work out with whatever strength and conditioning regimen he changed up to, because he wasn't flowing at all. He was fucking getting pieced up big time. But yeah, for a moment there he looked okay. He got that thunderous left hook from Shamil, and he looked okay for a couple seconds there. But next thing you know, his legs started wobbling and started to give, and he backed up, and Shamil gave him 2 more shots, and Herb Dean had to step in and save.
Am I wrong? Was it when he first got cracked with that big left hook? Didn't I don't know if it was slobber or blood start just out? I think if you caught it in slow mo, you could just see he looked like a T-Rex in Jurassic Park, just the slobber hanging down. That's bad because your brain's just going. Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible, but good for Shamil, man, because I remember when he got beat by Derek Lewis.
God, that fight was awful.
Yeah.
People talk about the Ngannou fight. I mean, the only good thing is that at least the fight ended, but that was going to go 5 rounds, man.
Yeah, so he's on a hell of a run now.
He's been doing it for a hot minute, too, so. But that seems to be the thing at heavyweights, obviously the main event. Talk about Overeem in a second, but we covered the big Shevchenko sister, Antonina, lost a split decision to Roxy, which I don't think I found one person online that actually agreed that Antonina won that fight. I mean, I think some people probably was there a round she won? I think there was a round she won, right? First or second round, I think?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't know. It was a close round, but nah, man, she was dominated.
It was definitely not enough to be it was a close fight. I think she was competitive in spots, but it was not, to me, there was no guessing who the winner was.
Yeah, well, that last round, she came out with the flurry. I mean, they had some really good exchanges, but that was 45 seconds of Antonina like really stepping it up and trying to make something happen. But again, she hit the canvas. Like Roxy took her down again and dominated.
Yeah, I
So
I really hope that third round taught her, and maybe in turn teaches Valentina something too, because Valentina is very patient, to a fault when her counter striking. Antonina is not like that proficient of a counter striker like her sister, but she's also very patient and fights this very, out fighter style, this very long style where she takes almost no chances. So it was good, having that flurry in the third round. Like, it shows that she can get some urgency when needed, but obviously she needs to have some kind of pace. You can't let your opponent dictate everything.
well, she did impress me in that third round too. She ended up taking the mount position for a second there, but Roxy, she had a beautiful sweep and she was back to mount and controlling Antonina again. But she took the top position from Roxy, and Roxy's no joke on the ground, right? So I mean, she has it. I think it's more of just being, I don't know, maybe pressured by her sister cornering her, or just fucking screaming at her or something. I don't get it, but she has something there. I think she just needs to put it together.
Yeah, I just, Valentina's been doing it much longer, at least in the MMA world. So, and she's gotten a few submissions off her back, the Juliana Pena armbar and stuff. She's well rounded. I know her sister is too, but she's fought in Muay Thai way more, and that's more her world. So I think she needs to be able to be confident off her back, even if she can't submit or sweep people, to just know that at least you'll be safe. The thing with Roxy is that she's trickier now because she's not the best striker, clearly, but she's game, and she's very awkward, and that causes people problems. Like, remember when John Jones fought OSP, he was saying about how awkward he was, and he just didn't really want to step in because he couldn't figure him out. And I think it's the same thing with Antonina. She's a very smart striker, but I think since she's so rudimentary and weird, she couldn't really get a grasp for what she was doing on the feet. And then on the ground, it was never going to be, any competition.
Yeah, Roxy with the forward pressure. She didn't give Antonina any kind of respect whatsoever. And Roxy, yeah, she ate quite a few shots and kicks and whatnot, and she's so fucking tough, man. But she was right in front of her again and again and again, like forward pressure, like not giving her any space to get comfortable. So it was a fun fight. I liked it.
Yeah, and then the other thing on the floor is that obviously Roxy's way better on the floor than she is on her feet, and everyone knows that. But the other thing is that, I mean, I can't say for sure how strong she is. I've never grappled with her, and obviously, there's things I don't know. She doesn't look that strong, but the thing is that she just rolls with everything. You're never gonna catch Roxanne Mataferi on the floor flailing and acting desperate. Like, she's always in control, and she never panics on the floor. So whatever you do, she's just gonna roll with it and put you in a worse position. So I
Yeah.
think I think people think they can compete with her on the floor because she's not like bulldog strong. It's not like Andrade on top of you beating the shit out of you, but she's very smart. She's very crafty.
Yeah, she's so smooth on the ground, just
I
controlling her. Like she's Antonina's pretty strong too, but she just needs to work on her like her takedown defense. And there are times where I'm just like, oh, spread your legs more, like
uh,
balance a little bit more. Like
I've said that too.
I'm like, oh man, like, but yeah, it was fun though.
Damn it, Reen, I was being a perv and you didn't catch it, or maybe you just
I
noticed.
know. I'm like, God.
No, yeah, yeah, and the thing is, I think people kind of get the wrong idea of Roxy, not just because they still think of her as this like weird, clunky striker, but the image of her getting slammed by Sarah Kaufman. Remember in Strikeforce when she got knocked out, that like
Mhm.
rampage style slams. Like, she's not that fighter anymore, though. She was very cautious back then. Now she's way more smart about things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said last week, KGB lost to Roxanne Modafferi. Why can I not say her name? Roxanne Modafferi. She lost to her earlier in her career, and I think she was all the better for it. And KGB did way better with Roxy than Antonina did now, and Antonina has more experience at this moment than KGB. That was like her third professional fight, I think. Yeah, and Antonina's definitely got some work to do right at the moment. But switching gears to the main event. So yeah, we both got this wrong, and Rena, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I understand why you went with Olenek, but I know you're kind of an Overeem fan. I'm kind of surprised for the one thing you agreed with me on is a guy that I actually don't like. You know?
God, man. I just didn't think he still had it in him. But then again, he wasn't supposed to fight him. He stepped in, 18 days notice. They used to train together too. They're friends. So, but I mean,
I know they mentioned that on the broadcast a lot, but were you aware of that before the fight happened?
no, but when I heard it, like him talking about it more, and he's just like, yeah, I didn't want to hit him. You know, he was already down, already felt that there's really no pressure with him. I already knew he was going out, and he's talking about it. I was like, oh shit, man. I just didn't see this happening. I mean, he took a lot of damage. Overeem took a lot of damage from what I saw, but what he was saying is like it didn't feel like nothing to me.
Well,
I'm like, okay, it
well,
didn't
I
look
think
like nothing, but like, all right.
I think a lot of it was to the body, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of it to the body. I mean, there was like the opening round, close to the opening round, where like he got hurt a little bit and he stumbled back,
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
but yeah, he's just like saying like I was just waiting for him to get like punch himself out. Really?
Yeah, you could tell Olenek's not like he doesn't emote much, but you can tell when he was hitting him, he kind of got that glow in his eye, like oh I got him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think he did get a little carried away, and I think that's why Overeem was able to get that clinch and start landing those knees. Is I think he was just preparing himself for it, like oh he's gonna hit me a little bit, just take it, and then as soon as he gets close enough, grab his neck, and he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and he got hit with those knees multiple times.
Yeah,
Like,
he took some disgusting ones to the body, and like, oh, that's not
yeah,
gonna feel good. I thought he would go down from those eventually, but then those two that he got to the side of the chin, it was brutal.
yeah, those like awkward side knees. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's
fuck.
the thing with Overeem is like, I remember how to be fascinated with Verdum because he'd grab a clinch and he'd bring a knee up, but he'd bring it to the bottom of your chin.
Yeah,
He'd bring it almost to like your the bottom of your jaw, like your throat. But over him, he turns your head as you're going down and hits you right on the jaw as he's bringing you down. It's beautiful.
it's
And
fucking brutal, man.
and you know what? I am gonna give Overeem credit. I heard, I believe it was Dan Hardy. He was talking about some of the things that he's noticed with him in training. That he's very meticulous. That he'll like go over even like the glove touch. That he like just goes over every single scenario in a fight. That he's like very obsessive, and he's been like this recently. Like he's really trying to up his game. I've heard other things that I think I heard it on the live chat, the MMA fighting live chat, that he'd been saying that he wants 3 wins before he could get to the UFC belt and stuff, and that he's really set on it. I'm like, damn, dude, I didn't think of Overeem as like a humble dude like that. He always struck me as a prick, especially when he got in the promotion, but he seems way more humble now.
Yeah, he'll be right there again if he gets. It would be two more after this one, but yeah, he said like two more, then I'll talk about the title. I'm like, damn, he's right back at it again.
And it reminds me of Bisping. You know, I've talked before on the show about how much I respect Bisping just for being an animal, just for like him getting knocked the fuck out by Hendo and by Vitor and Rockhold and getting choked out and all these terrible losses, and everyone's like, dude, just hang it up. You know, you just don't have it. Good, you have a good career, just hang it up. And he just said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna get that belt." And sure enough, he did. You know, like if Overeem wins the belt at this point, I'm not gonna be mad. He's like, dude, you took like 27 knockouts in like 10, like like 2 years to get to this point.
For real. And he got like starched. He got sent to fucking, I don't know,
Has there
fucking
ever been a
sent to
knockout
orbit.
of Overeem's where you weren't concerned? Like even like the Ben Rothwell knockout, which didn't seem that terrifying. It was kind of like, oh shit, are you okay? You just fell like really bad.
Dude, that Francis one, I thought that would be life changing, but obviously, I mean, he's still okay.
And obviously the Francis one was the worst one, but way back in the day, remember when Bigfoot knocked him out?
Oh
That was
god.
fucking, that was terrifying then. That was like one of the most terrifying heavyweight UFC knockouts ever. And then
Yeah.
Francis came and said, "Hold my beer," and then.
Yeah. Well, he's still doing the damn thing, so I mean, if he makes it and gets that belt, I'll be so happy for him. But yeah, I love him, man. And it was cool to see him and Rashad on the table with like Karen Bryant doing the interview thing because they used to be at the same gym together back in the day. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
Rashad just seems like everyone's big brother, doesn't he? Now,
Yeah, yeah, it seems like it. He's all
but
like reminiscing and he's like, yeah, you're still good looking, or they're like complimenting each other. It's kind
but
of
when
cute.
but when he was fighting, it seemed like everybody hated him. Like not just the fans. I know most fans hated him, but at me too. That's kind of the reason of why I got into it. I hated him when he knocked out Forrest Griffin and Chuck Liddell. Man, I just want to see this dude lose. And I started liking him a little bit after that, but it's just funny that he's like one of the most lovable characters now. Have you ever heard his impression of Overeem?
No, uh-uh.
It
I
is
haven't.
it is amazing. I wish I could. I think there used to be a video on YouTube. I don't know if it's still up. I'm gonna try and find it. I'll DM it to you, but it's ridiculous. You're like, oh my god, that's him.
No, I haven't. I don't recall him because I've seen like the Tyrone Spong um documentary over and over again, and Overeem is in it, Rashad's in it, Vitor's in it.
Tyrone
But
Spong has a documentary.
yeah, you never seen that, the King of the Ring one? That's like one of my motivators, man.
I've heard. Well, that's his nickname, right? It's Tyrone King of the Ring Spong, right?
Yep, yep, yep. But
I
yeah,
I
all those
thought
guys are on it.
I think I've heard of it, but I thought it was like a YouTube series or something. I thought it was like one of like the camp vlogs or something like that. I didn't know it was an actual
Yeah,
documentary.
it's like a couple series, actually about three different ones, all put together.
Oh, okay.
But definitely check it out if you have time. It's so fucking cool. It
Is
talks
it
about like his kickboxing Muay Thai career, and you can see like a young Overeem training with him.
is it just like reminiscing, going over old fights, or is it like training? Like, oh, this is the big fight I have coming up in 2 weeks, and it's like the training camp leading up to that or something.
Both, all of it, yeah. It
Oh,
follows
okay.
him. Yep. And then it follows him with like the glory kickboxing fights that he had. Like he had to fight like three people in one night. And yeah,
Mm,
it's pretty fucking badass. And then it shows him fighting in WSOF, his first like MMA fight.
yeah, he had some. I remember he knocked was it, I think his name was TJ Linderman or something. Yeah, he knocked some dudes the fuck out. He was brutal. I've always Tyrone Spong's probably one of my favorite kickboxers.
Yeah,
I think he's up there with like Nicky Holskin.
badass. The music is cool too. The track
Yeah.
song that they
Is
use
is it
is
all EDM?
no,
Well, he's Dutch, so I'm like,
It's all hip hop,
oh,
old
okay.
school hip hop and shit. So yeah, it's dope.
I
It's like
know
a music video almost.
I know Overeem always has bad choices in walkout music, but I think Holskin doesn't Holskin come out to some ridiculous like Euro techno and shit.
Yes, yes. Yep.
Goddamn Dutch man.
No, this documentary is dope. So if anybody else hasn't seen it yet, just pull it up on YouTube. Fucking the tracks are dope.
I'm fascinated that, and I'm gonna. This isn't gonna sound good for me, but whatever. I'm man enough to admit it. I'm kind of surprised that Tyrone Spong's not like this huge star. I know kickboxing isn't that big, but man, that's a stud right there, man. He's a good looking guy, and he has a very exciting style too. Am I wrong? Is it just me?
I know. I don't understand it either.
He's
I
a good
don't get
looking
it.
guy, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is a hot fucking man, dude. I'm gonna admit it right now. He has that cute little smile. He sounds so sweet. His mom is on that documentary too. She talks about him too, and every time his mom talks, like it gets me. I've seen this fucking like video so many times. It gets me off my ass when I'm like feeling lazy. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I need to start training.
yeah.
Uh,
You definitely got to send it to me.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll send it over, but yeah, I don't get it. Like, I know he was campaigning at one point to try to get into the UFC, but that didn't work out. He's still like boxing locally.
I was gonna say, I remember last I heard that he was boxing. I don't know if that's still a thing. I
Yeah,
know Nicky Holskin wanted to go into boxing, but I don't know if he did.
he's boxing right now. He's undefeated,
Hmm.
so it's working out for him there. But I don't know. if he's gonna fight the bigger guys, bigger dudes. He's just doing the local scene right now. So
One more thing on kickboxing, since we're on the subject and we like never talk about it. My lady has a thing for Rico Verhoeven. I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing it. I don't know if it's just because he's big. Do you get it?
I don't get it.
No.
I don't get it. He's all right.
I often tell her like she tells me things like that. I'm like, you got some weird taste, but I'm not judging because obviously look who you're with.
Well, see, I'm into white guys, so it doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. I think Tyrone Spong is better looking than him.
I should ask her what she thinks of Spong. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
ask
be.
her. Ask her
Yeah.
and find out what compare the two. But I don't know.
Yeah. Anytime she sees Verhoeven, she's like, ooh. I'm like, damn, really? But it's funny because she also likes Felder. She was like one of the first ones that told me about Felder,
Oh,
and then sure
see,
enough, you did.
yeah.
And then who's the other? Well, she likes Theodoro too, which I'm just like
Oh,
shaking my head when I see it.
maybe it's the
But
hair. I don't know.
yeah, she tells me it's the hair. What can a poor gal do? Moving on. So that was St. Petersburg. There was some decent fights. I didn't catch them all, but yeah, the ones that we covered,
Oh, yeah.
I was glad I made the investment, the like
Yeah.
20-minute investment.
I was cleaning, man, and I was trying to watch the fights at the same time, and then I ended up watching the main fights that we covered, so I know what the hell I'm talking about. But other than that, like it was all right. It was early in the morning too. I think it started at like 7 for us. I was
Yeah,
still sleeping, or I woke up and then I fell back asleep, and I finally woke up around 9:30 or something. And this is early, man.
yeah. I know we're usually well. I'm they're probably happy on the East Coast because there's the one that was the fights don't start till like midnight over here, so you guys should shut the hell up. But we're spoiled in California, man. They need to cater to us. I don't care about New York and all the other places in this goddamn country.
Yeah, man. Las Vegas, fight capital's over here, close to
Yeah,
us. So
yeah.
fuck you guys. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We had Rory on the podcast. He's I know he's one of these guys that's got to stay up because he's in Pennsylvania. So yeah, shout out to you guys, man. You guys are troopers. But we're gonna get into our little preview of what is this shit called, Rain? UFC Sunrise, UFC Fort Lauderdale, UFC bumfuck ass Florida.
I don't know, man. Somebody else said that too. Like, I don't know. I don't even know where it's at anymore.
UFC
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 Miami. I don't know.
UFC Kimbo Slice's Boatyard.
Shit, somewhere South Beach.
Yeah, well,
I don't even know like what's going on. Like the main card. I think that's the reason why it's fucking me up so much. Like the main card changed so much.
mm-hmm.
I totally forgot that Lineker's back.
Yeah, and we should all be psyched for that. We're gonna get right into that, but still, I think they should just go ahead and just rename it UFC Florida, FLURRIDA. Just go all out.
Right?
But yeah, that is the first one we're gonna talk about. John fucking Lineker is back. John Lineker and Corey Sandhagen. And you are not a hardcore fan if you do not address Lineker by John fucking Lineker because that is his God-given Christian name. But Lineker is back. It's been I remember that he knocked out Brian Kelleher. I remember that was last year, but I swore that he'd fought since then. But no, it's been damn near a year since he's fought. And Corey Sandhagen, man, this is fuck. I thought I had my thoughts together on this fight, and just looking at it now, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Dude, he's definitely an exciting new prospect. If he gets this done, man, this will definitely move him into like a ranked position. But that's a big if, man. He has an advantage over Lineker. And the only advantage that I really see right now is that height advantage. It's like an 8-inch height advantage.
Lineker fought, who was it? Rob Font? I think Rob Font's like 5'10". He's a big dude. And he beat the absolute fucking dog shit out of him, man.
Yeah, because he has that fucking grueling forward pressure. Dude, he hits hard with them hands of stone, along with that damn chin of his. Dude, violence is coming.
I feel like I've said this a million times, and it's maybe only because I think it, so it's just whirling through my mind whenever he fights. But I love Lineker so much because, I mean, he's just a wild dog. You just gotta love his style. But what I love about him is that I don't care how tough you are, there's always, and I dare you to find a moment where this doesn't happen, whether he wins or loses. There's always a moment in his fights where he starts just trudging forward and just starts throwing those haymakers, and you see his opponents backing up, and the look on their face is like, oh shit, don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit, and it's hilarious to me. It's
Yeah.
hilarious to me. Like he's making grown men just run away. It's beautiful.
God, I love it. I'm so glad he's back, man. So I this is like flying under the radar, I think, because of all the bullshit that's been happening with this card. But
That
it could get like fight of the night, performance of the night honors. Like it
yeah.
has that potential.
I know Adesanya Gastelum was a beautiful fight and a brutal fight. I know that it's front runner for fight of the year right now. And I know this fight is not going to be on that level as far as the nuance and the adaptations and all the little things like that. But as far as just blood and guts and violence and gore, Jesus, if it goes 3 rounds too, I mean, Sandhagen is a especially his body punches are beautiful, but so are Lineker's. But I mean, I remember Alcantara was beating the shit out of him and almost submitted him a few times when they fought. Then he came back to like 10-8 him in the same round. It was ridiculous. Sandhagen, I always call Lineker a shit-eating wild man, but so is Sandhagen, man, and he's so young, man. And then he reminds me of that quote from Fight Club when he said that they were talking about who would you like to fight, and Brad Pitt says Abraham Lincoln because he's tall and skinny, and skinny guys fight to the death. That's what Sandhagen reminds me of.
That's awesome.
Those tall, skinny, bony guys are the ones that I'm scared of, man, because they don't quit.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see how much heart he has, man. God damn.
And
John
and
Lineker's back.
and another note on Lineker, it's very unfortunate that Jessica Andrade is gay. No, 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 not that I have anything against her
What?
being gay. No, listen to me. I don't have nothing against her being gay. I just wish she could reproduce with John Lineker. Could
Oh
you
my
imagine?
god. Holy shit. He'll be signed he or she, the little baby will be signed before the baby's even born.
Could,
Good lord.
I think that baby will be born with a face tattoo.
Oh no.
Just hardcore, straight out the womb, man.
Holy shit. Dude, the ultimate specimen.
It'll have vinegar running through its veins, man.
Dude, maybe they need to figure something out.
I mean, we could do something for science, extract an egg, donate
Right?
some sperm. This would be like X-Men and shit. To see if we can
Right?
really make, no pun intended, the Ultimate Warrior.
Do it for MMA, combat sports, the future.
But man, we're talking so much shit. We haven't even come up with a pick. Do you got something on this one?
I gotta go with Lineker. I have to. He's back. I don't know. I think it might be too soon for Sandhagen, but it's gonna be. I think it'll be a fun fight.
It's been a long layoff, and
I know.
I know Lineker's not like this finesse guy who needs to feel his way around the octagon and gauge distance. I mean, he's gonna fight the way he always fights, but I think Sandhagen. I mean, he just fought in January, so he's fresh off a win. I think his confidence is gonna be up, and I think Lineker. I think it's gonna take a moment, and I think Sandhagen could get some early moments because of that. So I'm gonna pick Lineker. I think it's gonna be a close, maybe split decision. I think they really are gonna go at it. And I think given that Sandhagen has some decent kicks and a pretty good ground game, if they go to the ground, he can win a few rounds, and we'll see how it goes on the scorecards. But yeah, I'm picking Lineker by like a tight decision. Next, we got Glover Teixeira and Jan Cutelaba. Jan's back after it's been about a year-long layoff. He got USADa'd for something. I honestly I don't even bother to look at the USADA shit. We're gonna talk about him in a minute too about some other things that came up this week. But he got USADa'd. He's from Romania. He's in the Eastern Bloc European, whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter because this fight with Teixeira, I know Teixeira's a little bit past his prime, but he's still game to fight. He's still an animal. And
Dude.
I think this is a good match. And then Teixeira, remember, he can still wrestle. Kutalava, I think, has kind of shown some issues there. I'm actually gonna go with Teixeira. Kind of an
Dude.
abrupt pick, but I now that I just said wrestling, it's like I don't think he's gonna get him off of him.
Yeah. So here's another coming out opportunity, right? Because Teixeira fought in, was it January? He recently fought too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Conor
against,
Robertson when he elbowed the fuck out of him.
yes, Carl Robertson, 28-year-old, and then now he's facing another youngster, 25-year-old. So he's like become the gatekeeper, it seems like. So, but he's so fucking game, man. I mean, I was going back and forth with this because just Teixeira's on a decline. It's going downhill, but for some reason he gets it done. That old man strength, it just comes back for some reason, and then his fight IQ is there too. So, yeah, I think I have Teixeira down for my pick. But I mean, if he can get it done,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna win.
I think it's one of those fights that's just tough to know because Kudalaba. I'm gonna assume he's still dangerous. It's 205.
Yeah.
Most guys tend to be dangerous at that weight class, but yeah, I think Teixeira. He always has that wrestling in his back pocket, and I think that's his ace
Yeah.
up his sleeve in a lot of fights. I think he'll use it.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but man, if he gets it done, then definitely it's gonna put him in a ranking position because Kutalapa is not ranked right now. So, but you gotta get past the gatekeeper, man.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good fight back. We'll
Yep.
definitely know where he's at from here. Next fight up, Mike Perry versus Cowboy Oliveira, the Brazilian Cowboy. And I just looked. Cowboy was originally supposed to fight Jingalang.
Oh
That's
yeah. See,
that's
yeah.
the one. That's the one that pulled out. So that would have been an awesome fight too. But it's always cool to get Mike Perry in there.
God.
Mike Perry is the one guy that can, just go to war and you won't feel bad.
Right?
It's like, is he? I know brain cells get killed with chronic blows to the head, but
Yeah.
in Mike Perry's case, are we really missing much?
Yeah. I mean, there's no fight IQ here. I mean, Perry doesn't have any.
He's MMA's guinea pig. It's just for our enjoyment.
Yeah, right. I mean, I just picture he's gonna get beat by another cowboy, Oliveira for the win on this one. I mean, Perry has heavy hands. He does. He'll want to stand and trade, but I don't think Cowboy's gonna play that game. Hell no. So he's going to be fighting in there, happy and smiling, playing his game.
He's gonna go in there looking like Chucky with the fucking scar that Gunnar Nelson gave him.
Right?
I
Isn't
want to.
isn't he the one that survived the fucking bomb, a grenade? It was Alex Oliveira, right? He survived the goddamn grenade.
Wait, literally?
I think so. The shit that happened in Brazil.
When?
Oh man, I gotta look it up. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. I thought he did. He's fucking.
What do you mean? Like he was a soldier, or there was like a
No,
riot?
something happened in Brazil. Grenade. Was it last year? Yeah, injured by grenade and Christmas Eve incident.
What the fuck? Oh my god! These are
Alex Oliveira injured by grenade in Christmas Eve incident. MMA fighting.
Jesus Christ, man.
Like, dude.
I thought he was Brazilian, not Russian.
Like, he had grenade fragments.
And that goes to show Gunnar Nelson got him with one elbow, and he tapped. And I'm not saying this that he's a bitch for tapping, because I would have tapped too. Most people should have and would have. But that goes to show how terrifying that elbow was. He's like, oh, blood, out, 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 get me out of here.
Yeah, like, fuck that.
Yeah, I survived a grenade, but I don't want to be this much longer. Easy.
So, yeah. So.
He may have some kind of Wolverine DNA, some rapid healer.
Or some, like, Brazilian supplements. I don't know. People getting popped here and there, so Masada's not testing for everything, so.
Hey, don't tell that to Borachina. He's still got like fucking tubes in his veins and a fucking probe up his ass trying to figure out what he's been on.
Dude, I thought they cleared that up.
Nope, Nowitzki is like, we're digging into that motherfucker.
Damn, dude. I mean, do what you gotta do. He looks like it, but do what you gotta do. It's crazy to me though. Like, why would you? Maybe we should talk about it later.
Well, no, I mean, we're all over the place right now. This is I was going to bring something up right now too. How funny, and this is total speculation because even in John Jones' case, we don't know. Wink, wink. We don't know what's happening. But how funny would it be if John Jones has done more steroids than Paulo Costa?
Oh my God, seriously, man.
Like, just look at him. You know, who's guilty here? Who are you gonna pick?
Well, it's just crazy to me that, like, I mean, Chris Cyborg kind of went through the same thing, right? She didn't tell Wasada, hey, this is what I'm taking, this is what's going on. It was prescribed to me by my doctor. Here's all this documentation. You know, she filed for TUE, whatever. She went through all that bullshit. Her name got thrown in the mud, you know, dragged around, spit out, whatever. And Paulo, you know, Boricina is pretty much the same thing. Like I had a stomach issue. You know, it was a medicine. It was prescribed by me. Your Chris Cyborg went through the same, you know, issue. Why didn't you follow her footsteps and think, oh shit, maybe I should let somebody know?
Well, it's weird with Paulo because the initial issue wasn't with USADA, it was with New York. It was when he fought Johnny Hendricks. And all this time later, it's like, oh yeah, you were doing something wrong. It's like,
Wait,
well,
it went that far back?
that was what the issue was. Yeah,
Holy shit! What the fuck are they doing?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't. I thought this was like a more recent test.
No, well, we didn't know why he got pulled, but then it was the whole thing like New York found some adverse test or something, and
Oh,
it turns out it was from then. But it's like they're not even. First of all, they're not fighting in New York, and second of all, it seems like USADA hadn't found anything independently. So what's the holdup? And then the whole stomach medication. I don't know. I don't know.
they're like, I know. They're like, we know he's doing something. They're like testing everything back again. Is that what they're doing?
I think it's similar to like an Al Capone situation. It's like clearly this dude's a criminal. Clearly he's been up to no good, but we can't pin him on anything. You know, you get him on tax evasion. It's like, well, we got to add this and this. If not, we're never gonna get him. So while we have him in custody, just keep pinning shit on him. So I think that's what it is with cops. Like he fucked up, but now we really got to find out what he's doing because that shit ain't natural.
Damn, dude. Usada's reaching, man. God damn it. But
Yeah.
it's okay. As long as you're a snitch, you're good.
Come on. Why you gotta do that, Reen?
What? As long as you're a snitch, you can keep that belt.
Does this make Cody Garbrandt a snitch because he basically said he was on EPO years ago?
Nah, he wasn't working with nobody, so he just said it out loud because he got a big old mouth.
He got that Bush truthful Tourette's.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
those were the days.
He got nothing out of that one.
Yeah. Okay, we'll shift back in gear. So we're talking Oliveira and Perry, and I don't think we'd gotten a pick. I'll go first. I'm gonna go Perry.
Really? No fight IQ? No fight IQ, Perry?
No, because I think this will just be a war. And the last war I remember with Oliveira was Medeiros, and he broke. And quite frankly, like I said, no disrespect to him, but technically he did break in the Gunner fight too. I think he's a very tough dude, but when shit gets really, really, really bad, he'll find a way out. And Perry doesn't have the will and or intellect to know any better, so he's just gonna he's just gonna stick with the game plan of keep punching till something happens.
That shit's funny, man.
I honestly, if Mike Perry ever gets knocked out, I will be beyond stunned. Like,
Dude.
there's a few guys that I'll be surprised if they get like knocked out. It's probably like I know he's done, but I mean like in his prime, Carlos Condit, Max Holloway, and I think Mike Perry's up there. Like those guys, I just cannot imagine getting knocked out because they have otherworldly chins.
Yeah. Well, he might get submitted by another cowboy again, so I'm gonna go with Oliveira.
Has Oliveira submitted anyone, at least in the UFC?
Yeah,
He's got some brutal power, but I don't think he's ever submitted anyone.
I gotta look back again, but I thought he did.
He got submitted by the other cowboy,
Oh
some
yeah.
American cowboy, but I don't think he's ever. Oh no! Don't say it! Don't say it! Look away! Look away from the screen.
What?
He hasn't submitted anybody. Don't look at who he's beat.
Your boy. That's right. I forgot about that. But that was his comeback.
Yeah, me too. Well, he submitted Tim Means too. I totally forgot about that.
Dirty Bird, yeah.
The original Dirty Bird. He's got a fucked up foot right now. I wonder when he's coming back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, now I remember that. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
That was gruesome, man. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, main event time. So Jacare Souza and Jack Hermanson. This is a weird fight. It's a very interesting fight though. Jack Hermanson is very tough and he's very weird and he's very determined. Jacare is a stud athlete and one of the best jiu-jitsu players to ever grace the octagon. I told you off air if Hermanson guillotines him, I would not be surprised. I would be shocked, like damn, he pulled it off, but I would not be surprised. Honestly, I think I don't have a dog in this fight. I like Jacare. I kind of like Hermanson too, but I just think I would feel wrong if Jacare gets done wrong here. If he's so close to the finish line, I just want him to get over it. So I think just kind of like it's just a heartfelt pick. I'm just gonna go with Jacare. Second round sub, I guess.
Yeah, here's another good opportunity for a fighter because Yoel got injured. Bortachina is having Wasada issues from way back when. I didn't even know about that. Thought it was recent shit. But yeah, Jack could possibly come out of here with an upset. He said in an interview, I'm not afraid to go to the ground. I will take him down and I will do what I do. He has a really good ground game, but I have a good medicine for that. And that's the best ground and pound in the world.
He is vicious with his ground and pound. He does have a point. I mean, they're middleweight. I know he just went up, but I think Luke Rockhold may have the best ground and pound. Positionally speaking, like the way he fucked up David Branch, he gets a really good position. Or Chris Weidman, once he gets that top position, he fucks you up. But Hermanson is he's like ape strong.
Yeah, but
he's Swedish, man. He's got that Viking DNA.
Huh. But if you look at Jacare's losses, he's only lost to like champions or title contenders. So I gotta stick with Jacare. And this might be a little bit too soon for him, but hey, man, if he gets an upset, good for him. But
the more we've been talking about the fights, it just seems like we keep on saying that this is going to be a war, this is going to be exciting, this is going to be violent. Do you think this fight could become violent? Because Jacare's striking is no joke.
And it's so underrated, right? People just think of him as like fucking BJJ specialist, grappler. That's it.
If anyone, I really hope that's not the case, that people sleep on his striking still. And if for whatever reason you still have those doubts, just watch the Weidman fight. And I'm not even talking about the knockout. Yeah, that was a spectacular knockout, but he didn't want to hurt him. And I guarantee you, yes, he is a nice guy. He didn't want to be an asshole. But you don't go like that if you have any doubts in your striking. There's guys who are power punchers, and the minute they see someone fall to the floor, they keep attacking them because they're like, I gotta make sure. He knew as soon as that punch landed, like, he's done. And that takes a lot of confidence. You've got to really know what you're doing, and you really got to feel that in your hands and in your feet when you touch somebody. Like, yeah, he's done.
Yeah, man. Like, he said that he wasn't going to take this fight with Jack unless he gets the title fight next. So yeah, I'm rooting for him.
Well, it seems like he said that Dana promised him, right?
Yeah.
Daddy
promised. Yep. I hope he got it in writing or in text, because you know how that goes.
Daddy's bringing that PlayStation 5 for Christmas. I mean, who's the next logical contender at middleweight? I mean, Adesanya's for sure gonna fight Whitaker, but after that, who's left? And obviously hopefully Whitaker doesn't pull out again. Hopefully Adesanya doesn't pull out. If Adesanya pulls out, he should definitely be fighting Whitaker. I'm psyched for that fight too. We'll come to that when it comes. But we're gonna talk. Wait, did you make a pick, Jacare?
Yep.
Jacare. Okay.
Jacare. Yep.
Okay. I thought I heard that right, but okay. We're gonna move on to there's Bellator happening this weekend. Happening on Saturday, actually.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be simultaneously with the UFC, and this is also gonna be streaming. So you get to be streaming ESPN Plus and DAZN. Main event: Rory McDonald and John Fitch. It's just surprising these guys never fought, given how long they both were in the UFC. I mean, Fitch fought GSP and got the shit kicked out of him, but I don't know. I haven't been to. Well, Rory last got his ass beat by Musasi, and Fitch has been doing okay. He's been doing Fitch things.
What's up with this whole PED thing discussion? I didn't get to finish it. Have you heard this?
I didn't see it. Frankly, okay. I know I should because it does interest me. But at the same at the same time, I think I'm just grown sour on a lot of PED, drug, sanctioning type issues. Because it's like, I don't know. To me, I want guys like TJ Dillashaw to get caught. And I'm not saying this of anything personally because I have anything against Dillashaw or anything. I'm saying, like, I want illegal steroids, EPO, things like that out. Ostarine and fucking. I know John Fitch was on basically elevated testosterone. He was kind of doing the Vitor Belfort thing, but I also think it's a thing like he was in World Series of Fighting against Paul Harris. It's like you should be trying to cheat against
Oh
Paul Harris,
God.
man.
God damn shit.
That's the fight that he tested positive for, and I was like, you know what? If it was anyone else, I think you're a piece of shit. But
Dude, give him a fucking pass and a medal for fucking even fighting that motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
to me, if you're gonna fight Paul Harris without steroids or something, that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, man. Come on.
Right? I
I
hope. Did he get a bonus for signing that on the dotted line? Like, who? Nobody wants to fight that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what happened. It's just weird that he got caught in other promotions aside from the UFC. UFC doesn't even have the greatest track record with drug testing, and you're gonna test positive outside of the big league. It's like, damn, dude, you must have really been on it, really not been doing your homework. But I don't know. This fight, I think Rory's gonna be the favorite. Is there any reason why he shouldn't be? I'm not seeing like a good reason to pick Fitch here.
Unless he's still having issues with that nose of his. I mean, if John goes after that nose.
But he never hurts people. He doesn't hurt them on the feet and even on the ground. Like he has a lot of volume when he ground and pounds you, but he's never like staggered anyone on the floor.
Yeah, so.
I mean, if Fitch is smart, I guess he should just keep going for that nose and throwing
Right?
elbows. Yeah, and see what happens.
I think that's the only advantage he could possibly have with this. I think Rory keeps his belt, man.
In a weird way too. I don't know if you'll remember this or anyone listening will even know of this because it's an old ass fight, and of course it's my boy Condit. But for some reason, when I saw this fight announced, it's not that I'm going for Fitch or that I'm expecting him to win, but I kind of had flashbacks of Condit, that third round of Condit where he's just beating the shit out of Rory on the ground. Like, for some reason, if that were to happen, it'd be like, yeah, this looks familiar.
Huh. Is Condit retired? What's going on with him?
I don't know, man. I
That's
I
your
hope he
favorite
is.
fighter, man.
No, Holloway's my favorite now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I'll never disrespect Honda like that, man. Jesus, he's brought so much excitement. But yeah, I don't want to see him get hurt. And he's a smart dude, man. I respect him not just because he's an exciting fighter, but he seems like a good guy, a good role model. He's one of these guys that I would not expect him to have these types of scandals, these BJ Penn type scandals, these drug abuse, drinking, all that type of shit. He seems like a really good family guy. So I kind of just want him to get out.
Yeah, maybe just be a trainer or something.
He's got that coffee company, I
Oh
mean,
yeah?
yeah, like I think it's called 100 Hands Coffee. I mean, good move, I guess. Everyone drinks coffee.
Hell
I
yeah,
don't know.
man. It seems like everybody from that gym is in the coffee bean business.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on in New Mexico.
Right?
Well, oh no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I think he had it with Keith Jardine, but I think Keith Jardine's doing. I think it's like Caveman Coffee. I think it's a different company.
Yeah. Yeah, Keith Jardine and Tate Fletcher.
Yeah, on it guy, right?
I
Yeah.
think he's still with On It. Well, he's friends with Joe
Mhm.
Rogan, but yeah, Caveman Coffee. But
Um. Yeah, but I mean, I think you're with me. Just Rory by
yeah,
decision. I think he's just gonna jab the shit out of him.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
expect it to be that eventful.
But the main event, you tweeted something out. Maybe that should be the tweet of the week because did I hit like on it? I was cracking up. You're talking shit about the main event.
Of what?
Weren't you talking about Artegia? What's her name? How do you say her name?
No, I don't think I tweeted anything about her. No, I think I tweeted to the Just Bleed guys about crazy ass Raider fan loving Vita Ortega.
Oh, she looks like a Raider fan, or you said something that was like, God damn, she
Yeah,
does look
fool.
like one. I'm like, oh shit.
Scandalous. Damn, fool.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, yep, you're accurate there.
She looks like she'll get in a fight in the bathroom of a Target.
Too much, man.
Bullshit aside though, I do love her. She's fucking wild, man. And I really like Elimele McFarland too. Totally different styles. Elimele is so slick and pretty on the ground, and so creative. And Vita is just this marauder. I mean, I can easily see her just charging in and getting armbarred and shit. But I don't know. I haven't seen Elimele get cracked too often. So Vita's fought some chicks, a lot of chicks that she was supposed to lose to, and she took it to him, man. I'm excited. This is probably one of the fights I'm most excited for all weekend, truth be told.
Well,
I think
I found the tweet. Tell Al he better not make fun of Carlos Esparza's unfortunate looking ass. Vita is fair game though, with her Raider fan looking ass.
yeah.
I looked at her picture. I was like, oh, actually, yeah.
I didn't know who she was. It was like one of her first Bellator fights, and I forgot who it was. And someone on Twitter was like, damn fool, go Raiders! And she was fighting like this. She was kind of chubby at the time. Like, man, this chubby chick can fight, man. A bunch of Mexicans like just going on with her. It was funny. It was funny, but yeah, I do like Ortega. She's fun. She's violent, and she always has like a smile on her face. What's funny is that like I don't think she knows that she doesn't have to fight like that. I think it's just like ingrained in her. I don't think she can fight any other way, and I love her for it. Phil Davis is fighting Liam McGeary. I don't know. That doesn't catch my attention too much for some reason. Maybe just because it's Phil Davis. You got any takes on that one?
Nah, I didn't even know he was fighting, actually.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Benson Henderson's fighting.
Yeah, I noticed that. Man, he's been on like a 3-3 run with Bellator. Is he still fighting with the toothpick in his mouth? Are they allowing that in Bellator?
No one allows it. That's a commission thing. Well, sometimes they fight in the Indian casino. But this is in San Jose. This is actually close to you, and
Yeah.
the California Athletic Commission. So I'm sure they'll. And they need to do like a cavity search on that boy because.
I have to ask one of those guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask one of those guys. I know some of them.
They need a dentist in there. It's like we really got to check you, man.
Like seriously, like he comes out. It looks like he doesn't have anything in his mouth, and next thing you know, commercial break, you come back and it's like, oh.
I wonder if he sticks it in his hair.
Shit.
You're never gonna find it.
Dude, I don't understand how he fought like that. Like, how did you not get choked? Sometimes I choke on my gum.
I mean, you can't even do that. You can't even fight your gum,
Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
I will never forget. I forgot. I think it was when he fought Thatch or something. It was like the second time he'd done it. And I remember watching the Joe Rogan Fight Companion. They're going, I think he like submitted him. Oh, he got. And as soon as he got up, Henderson, he was celebrating, and he spit the toothpick out of his mouth. And Joe, he put the fucking toothpick in his mouth again. He was freaking out.
How the fuck? He has a mouth guard. I don't get it.
Yeah, like I know he would say he's talked at a point said that it's like a bad habit, it's like a tick. Some people just have certain thing. I think it's the reason he always plays with his hair while he's fighting. It's just like it makes him feel comfortable for some reason. But the toothpick, not only is it dangerous, but I just don't see the point because it's like, yeah, you have a mouth guard. I don't think you're picking food out of your mouth. I really don't get it.
Dude, his mama never like slapped him upside his head and be like, "What are you doing, kid?"
She is Korean too.
Right?
Yeah, she'd beat the fuck out of him, I'm sure.
Be like, come on, mom. He's like, you didn't handle that? Maybe she don't know or something.
She probably just ignores it. She does love all the videos I've seen her. I know she loves them, but Korean moms are crazy, as we've talked about off air.
Yes, they are.
And NorCal guy, Irene, Gaston Bolanos. I know you like this dude.
Yep, Gaston Bolanos. Fucking spinny elbow, fucking specialist. Yeah, man, there's a lot of NorCal guys on this card, of course, because they're in San Jose. But the prelims, there's a lot of young guys on there, names that I recognize.
So. I really hope Bolanos becomes a star one day. I don't see anything that he doesn't have. I mean, yeah, of course he needed to work on the ground game. He needs to be well-rounded. But how exciting he is with his style, young, good-looking kid. I just think he's got the whole package, man. He's so brutal with his style, but he's so, flashy too.
He's another one. I'm like, why isn't he a big name? Is it because of Bellator? Maybe if he was in the UFC, it would be different. Because
Well,
he
you
has
know,
an interesting story too.
yeah. Oh, like the whole thing with the coach that took him in and all that stuff.
Yeah, like he had to like falsify documents because he couldn't find any opponents, so they had to like change the age so he can fight adults.
Mhm.
But yeah, like Kyrian took him in and kind of adopted him, and he's his father figure, and he trains out of the CSA gym, helps out with the CSA gym, coaches, fucking Muay Thai fighter specialist, like
Yeah,
he
Spanish
had
speaker,
yeah,
fluent Spanish
highlights.
speaker. You know.
Right, he has like a whole like library of like highlights.
If you guys don't know who he is, you really should check him out. And if you've been impressed with John Jones spinning elbows, you haven't seen this kid throw them yet.
Oh God, seriously, they're so quick. And then if dude, watch his training videos with Kyrian, him holding pads. Like it's scary. I think he has elbowed Kyrian a couple times, actually a few times, because it's just so fast and quick. And yeah, it's fucking
Yeah,
amazing, man. It's so scary.
he's obviously a good athlete, but he also has such fine technique to go with it. It's amazing. Yeah, you guys should check that fight out. He's fighting. I didn't even see the dude's name. We're big fans of his, but we're not even giving the other dude respect.
I know it's like
Um,
Nathan Stolen. Like,
Stolen. His last name is Stolen. That can mean bad things, but it's also a badass name.
yep.
Well, good luck to that guy, but I expect a lot next year.
Good luck, man.
So, yeah, that's. I hope Bolanos does Bolanos things.
Yep.
Moving on, a few MMA news stories. Darren Till got into some shit. This is from a few weeks back. Am I remembering that right? I don't think it
I
was
thought
that
it was like a
recent.
couple weeks. It was like this weekend, right? This past weekend.
Yeah, he all I kept thinking when I read this was I just kept thinking of Masvidal. If Masvidal were to see this, he'd probably call him a hooligan. And it was very hooligan-like behavior. He trashed the hotel room and stole a taxi. Yeah, he's a kid, man. And I'm not saying this is like he's a kid, leave him alone. He'll learn eventually. Like no, he's quite immature, and it's annoying, man. I mean, he has kids of his own. I know he doesn't care about them, but he has kids of his own. You know, he's trying to be world champ, talking all these great things, and got submitted by Woodley and knocked the fuck out by Masvidal. Like I don't know. You think he's just drunk and did something stupid, or you think this is just he's lost his mind because he lost like his two biggest fights in a row and shit?
Well, I think he's just a little asshole. That's all. He's a kid. I think the fight before, yeah, right before he was about to fight Woodley, he had a scuffle outside of a nightclub.
Oh yeah, when he threw that kick, that weird like kick at some
Some
random
some dude.
patron. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it
yeah.
wasn't like a big deal, but it's like, dude, look, you can tell how big he is in comparison to this kid that this kid
Mm-hmm.
is like running away from him. Like, dude, Darren, like what the fuck are you doing? You're about to fight Woodley. What are you doing?
And it was a weird thing of like he could have easily been defending himself. That he probably just did that to scare the kid off, but he was also probably just being a dickhead. Who knows? But yeah, you probably shouldn't be in those situations anyway.
Right, what are you doing at a
You're
nightclub?
you're trying to be a champion and shit.
Right, what are you doing at a nightclub when you're about to fight Woodley, like one of your biggest fights in your fucking career, in your young career? What are you doing?
And as he said afterwards, like, oh, I was too confident, I was too loose. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. And I know sometimes things just happen, you just feel it some days, and sometimes you don't. But that is a weird time to like. As we were just talking about Rory earlier with his Musasi fight, I couldn't get over. I was actually mad when I read it like this. Well, what happened in the Musasi fight? It's just like, oh, I didn't feel it. It just wasn't there. I'm like, you're about to be the first like. Well, this is before Ryan Bader's. Like, you're about to be the first double champ in Bellator history, taking on one of the best middleweights in the world in Musasi, and you didn't feel it. I'd understand if you said like, "Oh, the moment got to me, and I was like stressed out, and I didn't perform." But he's just kind of like, "Oh yeah, like I don't want it anymore." Like, what the really, dude?
Fucking serial killer.
Man, I don't know. That's a different story. But
Weird. Weird.
I'm not an athlete. I can't say that. I mean, it's nothing that I know personally. It's just something that when I hear it, it doesn't sound right. And with Till, the one thing that I just kept coming up to my head besides the whole hooligan comments, like I remember, especially when he was about to fight Woodley, because a lot of people were high on him and on his hype train. He was doing a lot of posts like quote unquote like the triggering the libs type posts, like all these young kids are pussy nowadays type thing, like oh our grandparents were fighting Nazis and getting shipped off to war, and a bunch of you guys are just a bunch of pussies and this and that. And I just find it funny. It's like, well, is this being very adult like and responsible and all these things that you would probably advocate for? Come on, man.
Oh my god, dude. He stole the taxi. The dude was trying to help him out and take him to the next hotel because he trashed the hotel that he was in. So they were kind enough to move into a different hotel. The dude was trying to get all the luggage. I think he was there with like 5 friends or something. And Darren Till decides to steal the goddamn taxi.
Still weird to me that he even took a taxi. Is there no Uber in England? Oh no, it was in Spain, right?
Yeah, it's in Spain. So I'm like, you're a fucking kid, man. You're just a little kid. Just trying to be funny or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no arrest for him. Just fines and shit. That's all.
In Spain, in particular, from what I've heard, that they're not really like so bent on following the law to a T. It's kind of just like don't fuck with people. Like if people got to call the cops, there's a problem. But as far as like oh, there's cops all over the place and you're gonna get in trouble, that they're a lot more liberal. That they're not like patrolling the streets night and day kind of thing.
Well, good for him, man. Because he walked away with what, maybe $12,000 that he had to pay up, $11,000 in damages for the hotel, and then whatever fine he had to pay, 900 and some odd dollars for the taxi incident. So
He got fight of the night bonus for that loss to Masvidal. He can pay it.
yeah, he's not taking care of his kids, anyways, right?
Uh, uh, he will one day. He'll learn.
Oh, okay.
When
Hopefully.
they're like 18, he'll learn. Once the responsibility is over,
Huh.
he'll learn.
When he has to actually work.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So Nicco Montano, aka the Peyote Princess, she got busted by USADA, but I don't believe it because if it was for peyote, I would say that she did it, but it wasn't. It was for Austrian, and frankly, I don't believe this shit, man. I think Dana just hates her, and I think they framed her, man, straight up.
Do you think she practices that? The
Probably
peyote
not.
thing?
Probably not. I'm being very racist with that comment, and she probably doesn't. But
Dude, it was a serious question for me. Like because they do that, right?
yeah, but I think it's certain tribes. She's Navajo. I don't know if Navajo are the ones
Oh,
that
I,
do that. I think it is along the southwest, if I remember right, but I don't know if they're exactly the ones that do it because they're a very unique tribe from what I've seen and read. Um, but no, man, you know what? I like Nicco Montano's style. I know everyone hated her and was laughing at her when she was gonna fight Valentina because everyone thought she was gonna get murdered. The comments that she said about the UFC trying to dress up with the head with the feathers and the ceremonial dress and shit, like I just I couldn't be I couldn't believe or be on Dana's side or none of that shit. And I tend to believe her of why she ended up having that, why she ended up getting hospitalized for the weight cut and stuff. Like, I don't know why they couldn't have just respected her wishes. What's a month? That's all she was asking for is an extra month. Maybe she would have done it, maybe she wouldn't have, but it's like, well, at that point, Dana could have came out like, "Hey, she was asking for all this time. We even gave her an extra month, and she still didn't make weight, and all this happened." But from her account, you were bullying her.
yeah, she's hard, man. Like, is she done? You think with this too? Well, she still has to fulfill her contract, right?
Well, she got a 6 month suspension for this, and I think it's retroactive to November. So next month she can be eligible to fight.
But
Um,
just from like Dana White's like perspective, though, like, because it seems like he doesn't really like her.
you know what? The things that I'll never forget, the fucking asshole she tore Ariel, and the whole thing about the negotiations going underway, and just all the shit she talked to him. That was beautiful. I just don't think it's in her spirit. I think she's determined, and I think she's one of those people that if she tell you she can't do it, she's gonna come back stronger. And
Yeah, that sucks, man. So she got suspended. What? It's retroactive to November 15th.
Yeah, and then this Ostarine thing, it's like I think I tweeted it. I was like, Ostarine's like the new diuretics. It's like, who gives a shit? Everyone's doing it, and it doesn't seem to have much of an effect. It's like some kind of residue or something from what I've read, and everyone says tainted supplements, and everybody gets cleared. So
Yeah.
I'm not even on this thing of like, oh, she was cheating. She didn't even think how I don't even think she had a fight scheduled. So why is she gonna be taking steroids on her off time? You know?
Yeah, unless there was something coming up because yeah, she was supposed to fight Valentina, but that fell through, so something happened there. She took something that was tainted. That's all.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Other people did too. Sean O'Malley, Martin Vittori, and Augusto Mendez, which was like 2 years back when he tested positive for this shit. Everyone's just getting like exonerated. None of this shit matters. But speaking of Sean O'Malley, he just got a fight announced. There's a report that he's gonna fight Marlon Vera at UFC 239, and that's International Fight Weekend. Man, I'm fucking psyched for this fight. I think I've
What
talked about Vera a lot on this one, and I'm going all the way with him.
Shigshan was suspended for smoking the Chiba, right?
No, Ostarine, the same thing that
Well,
Nicco
before
got.
that, but before that though, I thought
No,
he got suspended for that prior.
I don't think so.
Oh, I gotta look it up. I
He
thought that's why
fought.
he's, or was he? Was he injured?
He was gonna fight, I believe, in September, and he pulled out. And I think the reason he pulled out was because he got USADa'd. So the
Uh,
last fight he had was against Sukum Tot, and that was last April, I believe. So yeah, it's been a year as of now. It'll be like 15 months by the time he gets in the cage again.
he failed the test out of UFC 229.
229, yeah. That oh yeah. See that was the Khabib Connor card. So that was in October. That's when he would have fought. He was. I think everyone thought that he probably had a layoff too because he hurt his foot in the Sukumtop fight. Remember, he was the one they interviewed him as he was lying down because he couldn't stand up.
Yeah, marijuana enthusiast, blah blah blah.
He just smokes weed all the time, but I guess he's smarter than the Diaz brothers to not fucking smoke it the day of the fight and shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Still bugs me. But man, I guess that's why I'm excited for the fight. I'm not a big O'Malley fan, and I'm a big Chito Vera fan. So I hope Vera fucks him up, and I think he could do it. He's tough as shit, man. I think the more spinning shit that O'Malley throws, I think Vera's just gonna eat it, and he's just gonna start countering him, and I think he'll drop him a few times, and we'll see what happens there. I hope so. I'm just hoping. I just don't like him.
Stop the hype train.
Yeah, yeah, much like we'll get into her another time because I don't want to be talking about it on every podcast. But yeah,
Okay.
as you're well aware, I'm not a fan of
The
quite a few
hate.
hype trains. Yeah,
That bitch. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I
But
said it.
yeah, yeah, we'll talk about her in another show. Some unfortunate news coming from Brazil. We just talked about this a few months back with man, I can't remember the dude's name. He fought Kai Kara France. His girlfriend uh died in a car accident. Well, it wasn't a car accident. It was more of a murder. But Rodrigo de Lima, former UFC fighter, he had two fights in the promotion. He suffered a similar fate. He was 26 years old, got in a road rage type incident, confrontation, and yeah, somebody just ran him over. Really, really unfortunate. And it just, man, it sucks. I wonder if this is really a common thing in Brazil. People just getting run over dumb shit.
Run over, grenade blast, like all kinds of shit happening.
I think Oliveira was around some shady people. I think I don't think I really well, at least I hope grenades aren't ubiquitous in Brazil. I hope he just ran into the wrong people and somebody had a grenade he wasn't aware of.
Crazy. Fortaleza had some issues. Like, I ain't going to Brazil.
It's things like that. Not to bring politics into this, but the guy that's running the country right now, he's a crazy, law and order type dude, and people wonder why he got elected because he seems like a dictator. But shit's real bad in Brazil, man. If this is a common occurrence, people getting run over, people getting shot, people getting blown up by fucking grenades, I understand why people put their faith in them. I mean, I still think it's wrong and it's fucked up because he has said a lot of fucked up things, especially against gay people. But if he's saying I'll keep you safe, sometimes that's all it takes. It seems like Brazil's a really fucked up place in some areas.
That's scary, man. Who was it that got attacked? It was a female fighter.
Oh, Poliana Viana
Oh, that's right.
kicked that dude in the face and beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, all kinds of things are happening with fighters out of Brazil, man. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. Unfortunate, but it's so sad that this happened.
Yeah, the dude had a family. That's the most unfortunate part. He was still fighting. I don't know. Not much more can be said. It's just really, really sad thing. Fucked up world we live in, and I know this can technically happen everywhere, but it's just crazy that the all the incidences we brought up in Brazil and people are dying over this. This kind of reminds me of the Ryan Jimmo thing, and that happened in Canada. Kind of makes you think of how stupid road rage is that people actually die from it, from some guy cutting you off or flipping you off or whatever. Like, come on, dude, it's not worth it.
It's not. It's why even get yourself amped up so much that you want to do something like that? I don't get it. You fucking control yourself.
Easier said than done for some people.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, even I'm guilty of it. I think we're all guilty of it to some extent. But come
Yeah,
on, man. There's bigger things. There's better things in life.
yeah. I mean, I'm totally guilty of that. I worked hard at controlling my fucking anger because there's times where it was hard for me to come back from it, and it'll take like days out to recover sometimes. But
Jesus.
yeah, man, I worked so hard. Now I'm just like, whatever. It's not worth it. Why get myself amped up?
Well, it's definitely a good thing. That's I can get real angry, but it tends to subside quick. That's scary. I would not want to be angry for days on end.
Uh-uh.
That sounds like hell.
It took it would take me like days to like just let it go and stop thinking about it. Yeah,
There's there's some people I've interacted with that are like angry 24/7, and it's not pleasant at all. But at the end of the day, I see I'm like, you know what, man, you're killing yourself. You're like giving yourself cancer and shit. You're like stressed out and screaming for no reason. You're
right?
killing you're killing yourself. I don't have to wish bad on you. You're doing it to yourself.
Right, exactly. I was hurting
Mhm.
myself, man. So
Yeah.
I like to like just be balanced all the time and not really give a fuck and just laugh. I'm all about sarcasm and shit, so
Okay. All right. That's gonna do it for MMA. Now let's get into our news story. And a news story this week is coming out of Brazil. As you know, it's a good segue. Just talking about Brazil. Headline says police seize quote unquote super obedient lookout parrot trained by Brazilian drug dealers. And the long and short of it is apparently they went into this area where they were selling large quantities of crack, and these cartel people had trained a parrot to say, "Mum, the police." So it was a lookout bird and would alert them whenever the police was coming by. The craziest thing about this is they seized it, the police seized it, and this is a quote from them. So far, it hasn't made a sound. Completely silent. So this fucking bird is more gangster than Takashi 69.
A parrot has been taken into custody in northern Brazil following a police raid targeting crack dealers. Like that sentence got me. I started cracking up. The fucking parrot's in jail, man, and he ain't saying shit.
How long till they kill him?
I don't know, man. Huh. Accidental death? I don't know. Something's
How
gonna
can
happen
you?
to that bird.
Here's a question: how can you torture a bird? I mean, I guess you can not feed it and stuff. That's cruel. But I mean, is there any like, can you play loud music or something, and eventually it'll like go crazy and just start talking? That's what
And
they do. That's what they do in some of these detention centers in like the Middle East and shit. They
water?
lock them. They lock them in a room and just play like Rage Against the Machine all day.
Huh. Or like
And
spray water at it? Well, that's a cat, right? Cats.
try and waterboard a bird.
Yeah. It's like, but I don't get it. Like, why are you taking this bird into custody? Like, you're gonna like question it or something.
Well, because they warned all the drug dealers and they left and they have no evidence on it.
So what are you gonna do with this bird? Like, if this is the bird, it's a pretty good looking bird. It's a pretty bird. Pretty bird.
What if the cartel guys? What if they like plan an escape for the bird? They like go in with like shotguns and like hold the police department like give me the fucking bird.
God.
It's a valuable bird, clearly.
Right?
I wouldn't be that surprised.
I don't get it, man. It's so funny, man. Maybe he's microchipped. Maybe he got like secrets. I don't know. It's just odd to me that he's in custody. He's in jail. He's locked up. Fucking Brazil, man. What are they doing over there?
Over here in the hood, we have little kids, and the little brother, hey, stay on the roof. You see somebody, let us know, whistle and shit. Over here, they're training birds and shit. Which, good. At least you're not getting little kids in trouble and subjecting them to a life of poverty and crime, But wow, this is amazing. And on that Tekashi 69 note of earlier too, I think Tekashi's even more colorful than this fucking bird, man. If the picture is correct and this is the actual bird, it's a really pretty, colorful bird. And Tekashi still has more fucking rainbows in his hair. And he's snitching.
Oh my god, it's too much, man.
Jesus.
Fucking
weird world.
Yeah, Brazil.
See, folks, we sadden you with some terrible violence happening in that country, killing MMA fighters, but some of these people are pretty ingenious and they devise plans and train birds of how to be lookout.
Yeah, definitely creative, man.
I want to know how. Well, I guess it's not hard to know how they trained them to say it, but I wonder how long it took.
How long did it take, and like, how does the bird recognize that it's a cop?
True.
Right?
And how is he not talking? Like,
because he's a cop, he knows, the bird knows that it's a cop, so he's like, fuck that, I ain't talking? Like, how? I have all these questions.
If I know he's dead, but I wonder if you stuck this bird with Whitey Bulger, how long it would take for him to kill this fucking bird.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm going off on all the snitches. Fucking Bulger, he's dead anyway. Fuck that guy. I don't give a fuck. Tekashi.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what's happening with that guy. He'll be in WITSEC soon enough.
Fuck, man. This parrot, he's so smart. He recognized a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not snitching.
Mm-hmm. Crazy, man. Crazy. There are birds more gangster than you, folks. Just remember that. Next time you think you're hot shit, remember there's a bird in a Brazilian prison somewhere that ain't saying shit. No matter what they dangle in front of him. Crackers, whatever, he ain't talking.
Oh, Jesus, man. Too funny.
I had a lot more fun with that story than I envisioned. That is even a funnier story talking about it more in depth than it was when I first read it.
Right, because I'm like, how did he recognize that it's a cop coming? Like, normal clothes, like police clothes, like I don't get it. I have so many questions. Whoever trained it, genius.
Yeah, he should have a fuck drugs. He should have that as a side hustle, man. Like, hey, you wanna get away from the cops? Just give me a bird and watch what I can do.
Fuck yeah, man. Go over to Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Oh man.
Travel country.
I'm sure we'll even talk about this on other podcasts. This bird's gonna become a fucking extra, character on the show.
Why isn't he talked about more though? Why isn't he a star right now? He's in jail, dude.
I just read about the story yesterday, so I mean, I think it's been pretty recent. It's amazing.
Dude, man, we gotta like help him with this popularity. Get him out of jail.
Mm-hmm. GoFundMe for the parrot, for the non-snitching parrot.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I might be a bird, but I'm not a rat.
Oh no.
Okay, that's gonna do it for tonight, folks. I want to thank you guys for listening, for joining us. Catch UFC on Saturday, catch Bellator on Saturday, and well, by the time you hear this, it'll be Friday. So tonight on DAZN, you got Bellator on DAZN on Saturday, but on Friday night you got Combate Americas Reinas. I know I can pronounce things properly. Combate Americas Reinas is happening here in my hometown of LA. The prelims start at 7. I believe those will be streamed. You can see the whole 10 fight card. The main event, Melissa Martinez, Super Melly, she's fighting Caroline Gallardo, Chilean girl. Should be a pretty fun fight. Melly, I'm not just saying this because I'm Mexican. But Super Melly is fucking incredible. She's very reminiscent of Holly Holm, very fast hands and deadly left kicks. You guys should enjoy her. And the co-main event is also another female fight. Cara Batara. She was supposed to fight Magana. She can fight Paulina Granados now, and that should be an interesting fight. The winner of the main and co-main event are going to fight for the title sometime later this year, so you might want to invest in that if you guys want some women's MMA this week. And Raider ass Vita Ortega and Elimele McFarlane ain't enough for you. But that's my plug. I'll be covering the event live. I wrote an article on it earlier today. If you guys want to check it out, it's on Twitter. Anywhere where I'm at, you'll be able to see it. And follow me on Friday night. If you guys can't watch it on the Zone, I'll be live tweeting it most likely. So keep an eye on that. Results, the whole deal. Do your boy a favor. You can find me at Juice_MMA. You can find the podcast at iFox with Juice on Twitter and Instagram. Where are you at, Reen?
I am at Instagram and Twitter, Fox with ya. Check it out. Send me a DM. No dick pics though.
Yeah, birthday's over. That's long gone. No
Yep.
more. Those are no longer being accepted.
That was just the one-time freebie with the bow.
There you go. Call back to last week's episode. But once again, thank you guys for listening. You can catch the podcast anywhere where there is podcasts: Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, the whole deal. Posting the link again from juicemma.com, everywhere you could catch it. And join us next week. It's the 25th episode. We're trying to do it up. Hopefully get some guests on, maybe go a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. Should be a fun one. So, thanks again. Catch you guys next week.
See ya. Wild night.